is back for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. A fluke finger injury in training camp has cost him the start to the season, but he's back in the lineup tonight.
And former Rider quarterback and head coach Ken Austin back at Mosaic, looking for his first coaching victory in Saskatchewan and looking for a split of the first 4 road games to start 2015. On the other sideline, Corey Chamberlain told his team to put on their hiking boots and get ready for a climb. Out of the 0-4 hole the team is in, the Riders have won 13 of the last 14 meetings here against the Ticats. Ray Early kicks it off, and we're underway with Brandon Banks taking the football from his 9. And Banks slowed up as he crosses the 40, but a good return to set up the Hamilton offense.
Zach Collaros completing 70% of his passes, has C.J. Gable back in the lineup. They're also going to add Quincy McDuffie to that wide receiver position. You'll always see McDuffie in the return game as well. And the #1 target for Collaros this year has been Andy Fentus, especially second down plays. Trying to move the chains.
Excuse me, no Taekwon Underwood or Terrell Sigfield. Last 2 possessions in the loss against Montreal, they turn the ball over. They start with C.J. Gable back in the lineup. And as you mentioned, Suits, a lot of excitement in the Hamilton camp to get him back operating in this offense.
He'll be up against Saskatchewan Roughriders on defense. I'm looking at their secondary because for 2 straight games they've had 2 different corners. Both veterans, and Jeff Tisdale last week and Alex Huber this week edition.
Team that doesn't run very much ran twice on their opening possession to get a first down as Gable crashes over the first down stick.
One thing, and put Tyron Brackenridge in there as a player to watch also, because this Saskatchewan defense has not been able to create turnovers. And that's been the one thing they've got to find a way to do. If they're going to, it could be Brackenridge from that safety spot. He likes to bring it, come up and hit those receivers over the middle. Maybe he could pop one out of there.
Ticats, the #2 passing team, 9th ranked on the run, and they'll screen it out, and it's Gable for the 3rd consecutive touch. And he lunges across midfield down to the Saskatchewan 50. John Chick with the tackle. But very quickly, C.J. Gable becomes a focal point in this Ticat offense.
One of the only backs at USC to start as a true freshman. And there was some great running backs at USC. How about Marcus Allen, for one? Played against Arkansas in game 1 at USC as a true freshman.
7 yards on each of their initial first down plays. And now a pass high on 2nd and 3. And incomplete, intended for Terrence Tolliver. In coverage, the newcomer, probably go after Alex Huber, who plays his first game in Saskatchewan green.
Yeah, former Winnipeg Blue Bomber in for Tristan Jackson, and he's another player that could create turnovers, likes to come up and hit hard when the receivers catch that ball in front of him. Can he be the spark plug? But the question is, and Collaros will test him, is does he know this defense well enough?
Well, this is interesting. Right off the hop with a breeze at the back of Justin Medlock. He's going to attempt a 58-yard field goal, hit from 53 last week. Moderate wind at his back, and the left footer puts it up, and it will miss wide. And Weston Dressler's bringing it out. Over the 20. Down the sideline. And finally out near midfield. So they miss from just beyond midfield, and Dressler stokes the Riders with a return back in the similar neighborhood. 57 on the return. Good field position to start for the Roughriders.
Challenges with the long field goal attempts. If you miss, it's a long way to cover for those linemen. Dressler gets a nice block at the end of this run from newcomer to the lineup, Alex Huber. Number 27 gets Dressler an extra 15.
So Medlock had the distance, didn't have the direction. And the Roughriders will start at their own 50-yard line. Flag comes down as Kevin Glenn is under duress but escapes. And now likely to take off with Simone Lawrence in pursuit. Steps out after a 2-yard pickup at the Rider bench on the 52-yard line. There is a flag on the play. Hasn't done a lot of running this year. Kevin Glenn just his 6th carry.
Offside. Hamilton, number 5. 5-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
So a man who wears number 5 in honor of an old teammate, Kevin Glenn, Justin Hickman, is offside for Hamilton. Didn't see any movement along the line, so must have lined up within the 1-yard restraining area. Gives the Roughriders a 1st and 5. Motion to the near side. Fake to Dressler, and the pass in the flat caught by the returning Ryan Smith, who gets drilled by Brandon Stewart. But the Roughriders excited to get Smith back, coming off that monster game against the Argos. 8 catches, 174 yards, and the crowd welcomes him back.
Be tough to cover this receiving core with Smith in the lineup, working in tandem with Weston Dressler. Moves the chains in his first catch. But yeah, was leading the league when he left due to injury.
So 1st and 10 just inside the 50. Dembski in motion, the counter the other way. And Anthony Allen has it down to the 45-yard line in the season opener. Allen with a big game last year against Hamilton.
One of our starters to watch along with Jerome Messam, because tonight it's strength against strength. Number 1 running game offensively, with Xavier Fulton back to that all-star status from a year ago, helping out at left tackle. Number 1 running game against the number 1 run defense, the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
Allen at 158 last year in the season opener. Ticats almost jump. 2nd and 6. Messam in the backfield. Glenn throws. It's complete. And the pass caught by Getzlaff. Looks like he'll be about a yard short of the first down.
So the challenge for that Hamilton defense is to keep run stopping the way they have. Lead the league, just 68 yards per game along the ground. They won't have Ted Laurent in the middle. That's going to be a hit. Hassan Hazimi will play for him, but that puts a little bit more pressure on Taylor Reed and Eric Harris, the 2 run-stopping linebackers.
4 straight games, the Ticat defense has not allowed a 100-yard rushing game. 3rd and 1, Brett Smith and the short yardage group are in. Have to get beyond the 40. And Smith with a good surge does that. Flags come down. But a good push by Dan Clark and the guards, Brendan Labatt and the veteran Chris Best.
Hamilton, 5-yard penalty. First down.
Penalties an issue last week for the Tiger Cats, and they lead the league. They average over 15 penalties a game. 1st and 10. Fake to Messam, and it's Rob Bagg the hitch. Inside the 30 for Bagg, who did not finish last week's game. Out of the lineup in the second half, shaken up. Just 1 catch against BC.
Yeah, just 8 on the season, and he was banged up, but practice this week, back in the lineup. He's the spark plug in this offense, a guy that can get his teammates revved up in a hurry with a big catch. Been close to 1,000-yard seasons for 809 and in 14.
Tight end, 69 seconds.
Double tight end formation, 2nd and short. And Anthony Allen in now. That's the fullback Spencer Moore in motion. He'll lead the blocking right side with another flag down. Allen, the cutback, has the first down pending the penalty.
The pitch to number 26, Anthony Allen.
Allen leading the league in 10-plus carries, 10 yards or more, 9 carries.
Offside. Hamilton, number 0. Penalties declined. First down.
And that's 3 offsides for the Ticats. This time, Rico Murray, who returns to the Tiger Cat lineup, along with Courtney Stephen to help bolster Kent Austin's defense.
Yeah, and we haven't seen early movement, so I don't want to put it all on Hassan Hazimi, but Ted Laurent's usually the guy who sets that D-line. A yard off the ball. Are they lining up offside?
Riders with 3 first downs on the drive so far. Kevin Glenn rolls, a lot of time, takes a shot, end zone deep, and out of bounds, intended for Weston Dressler.
Kevin Glenn just wasn't ready to throw when Weston Dressler was open, or they have a touchdown. Dressler's the outside receiver here, and he's just going to open up right about here. Kevin Glenn not quite ready to throw right at that time, so he puts air on it, tries to have Dressler run under it, and Rico Murray catches up, but that wasn't catchable. Up the back of the end zone.
Brandon Stewart checks in and on the defense for the Ticats, 2nd and long. 2nd and 10. Glenn throws and incomplete. Murray in the neighborhood. And the field goal team will have to come on for Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I think that surprised Rico Murray at that halfback spot. The ball went right by his hands. He had a lot of running room. Surprised Saskatchewan's putting the ball in the air as much as they are in that first drive because of their strong running game, Jerome Messam and Anthony Allen.
And again, that Ticat defense without that big run stopper in the middle.
Yeah.
So here's Paul McCallum, 8 for 9. He has a pair from over 50 on the season. This from 29 yards out. And he's 9 for 10. Roughriders have the lead after that good field goal return by Weston Dressler. McCallum with the first point. Zach Caleros back to.
This is real tonight. This is real tonight. This is real tonight. This will determine what type of team you're going to be for the rest of this year. For 60 plus minutes, for 60 plus minutes, grab that victory. Grab it tonight. And remember what it feels like to snatch it and make it yours. Snatch it tonight and make it yours.
Little fire in that message.
Oh, absolutely. A little sense of urgency in that pregame speech.
Early the kickoff, it's a short one, up for grabs and a bounce back. That ball is live and the Ticats are able to come up with it. Mike Daly grabs the football that bounced around and bounced back towards the kick team.
That is live once it crosses 10 yards. Quincy McDuffie just can't track it down. Alex Huber gets there first. Well, that was a live ball.
Gives the Ticats good field position. They'll start at their own 52. They have the worst field position starts so far this season, averaging their own 28. Three receivers near side, and the hitch goes to McDuffie. Into the lineup in place of Terrell Sinkfield and into Rough Rider territory at the Saskatchewan 51.
Yeah, I had a long talk with Tommy Condell before the game about inserting Quincy McDuffie into the lineup. Terrell Sinkfield is not injured. They pulled him out to give McDuffie a chance to get in the lineup, give him that hitch, get him into space, let him make plays. You take a look at his special teams work back in college. Good player, can also play in tandem with Brandon Banks.
Kick return touchdown last year against Winnipeg. 8 for McDuffie, 2nd and 2, and the handoff to Gable. It's a first down, crashing inside the 45. John Chick with another tackle.
Triple threat. CJ Gable. Kent Austin said this week that Gable may be, in his opinion, the best blocking back in the league. Mentioned as a true freshman getting that first start. USC.
Top rookie in the East 2 years ago. Time for Caleros. Wide open. Junior Collins, touchdown. His first CFL reception is a touchdown from Zach Caleros, and the Ticats strike first.
Like a bust in the secondary for Saskatchewan. Nice block up front, and it was C.J. Gable getting a chip off the edge. Number 32 to the right of your screen on Alex Hall. That allows Zach Caleros to step up into that hole, put it up over the top to Collins.
Division III All-American at Mount Union. And the former Purple Raider has a 42-yard touchdown for the Ticats. Well, there's a welcome to the CFL moment. Medlock adds the extra point. And very quickly, the Ticats take the lead. Zach Kalos tossing his 4th touchdown pass of the year, first to number 87, Junior Collins. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Some nice route running there by Junior Collins, who has earned a chance, an opportunity. First catch in Canadian football, touchdown from Zach Collaros.
3 plays, 58-yard touchdown drive, and the Ticats have a 7-3 lead and a big boot deep. Ryan Smith is going to concede a single point, won't bring it out. And it is 8-3, although we do have a flag on the play that we'll sort out.
Well, I was wondering if it was a bust in coverage for the Saskatchewan secondary or just great route running, and take another look at it. It was route running on Tyrone Brackenridge. I mentioned Brackenridge is dying to make a big play and cause a turnover, and he jumps a route here on a great move from Junior Collins.
Indication is a rider holding call. So they need to give the options to Kent Austin. I think he'd just take the single point.
It's quite the discussion going on.
Dave Foxcroft will let us in.
During the return, holding Saskatchewan, number 42. That penalty will be applied from the 10-yard line. It will be first down Saskatchewan. There is no single point awarded.
Also, they'll take the point off the board and back up the Roughriders. Nathan Kanya, the penalized player.
Let me show you the route here run by Junior Collins in his first game on Tyrone Brackenridge. He's going down the seam, but he bends it in. Brackenridge trying to make a play, create a turnover. Whoop, he jumps it, and when he does, goodbye to Junior Collins in behind him.
Pretty smooth route running for a nice young player in his first game. Well, the Roughriders backed up here at their 5-yard line as they hand the football off to the youngster Nick Dembski, back in the lineup after missing a couple with injury.
One more look at the touchdown throw from Zach Collaros because of the key block here. This is called the chip block on Alex Hall. He's working on Joel Figueroa off the edge. If Hall can get that corner, he can disrupt the play. He can't because CJ Gable puts the left shoulder into his chest, helps his right tackle out. Collaros untouched and clean back there in the pocket.
4 for Dembski, 2nd and 6 as the Roughriders try and dig out of a hole here, and the out is complete, and it's a first down. Back-to-back plays for Nick Dembski out of Manitoba.
Well, the first series, Saskatchewan went with 5 passing plays, 3 running plays, finished with a field goal, come out chucking it again, backed up in their own end. Still not a lot of action, or have we seen much of Jerome Messam?
Right now it's Anthony Allen in the lineup. Little room to operate at the 21. Quick hitter, the slant is caught. And Ryan Smith has his 2nd catch. And another Rough Rider first down.
Put him out there as a single receiver with lots of room to operate. It's going to be the quick slant. Not a deep enough drop from the edge player who was former Saskatchewan Rough Rider Craig Butler.
So Smith to the sidelines. Jamel Richardson checks in. Kevin Glenn looking downfield, and he misses Dressler, who was open near the 50-yard line.
Yeah, open on that dig route or crosser route over the middle. Think back and look the first couple of games for Ryan Smith. Big play guy. Targeted him 12 times in those first 2 games. Made 11 catches, including the spectacular one down the seam. And big game in that second game. That's the one that knocked him out due to injury.
And now a 1v1 Hall of Famer off that tremendous catch against the Argos. Kevin Glenn on a roll to the outside, and Getzlaff has it. Emmanuel Davis takes him out near the first down stick.
It's often what happens, though, for coordinators when they're reading all week in the newspaper, listening to talk radio, hearing everyone talk about the strong running game Saskatchewan has.
Whoa!
Getzlaff right on the sideline, and they come out slinging it a little bit, try and surprise Hamilton, who you know are prepared to stop the run.
Getzlaff 6 for 79 against Toronto, his best game this year. A couple of catches here, a high snap, pulled down, and Allen off the right side.
There you go.
And he'll power his way to the 50-yard line.
Anthony Allen at 8.2 yards a carry, 32 carries coming into this game. Slightly ahead of Jerome Messam, who's personal best at 7.7 yards per carry. When you're getting 7-8 yards per carry, I say you keep running them until they stop it.
And look at those numbers coming into week 5. Messam leading the league in rushing, and Allen number 4. So Allen has checked out. It's Messam in the backfield. 2nd and 3 from the Rough Rider 50.
Whoa. Low shotgun snap there from Dan Clark.
After a high one earlier in the series.
Procedure. Saskatchewan, number 66. 5-yard penalty remains. 2nd down.
First best, the right guard flinching.
That's something to watch. Clark's been playing very well at center this season, but he's got to get consistent with those shotgun snaps, or it takes Kevin Glenn's eyes off the coverage. He has to reach down low to pick up the ball and can disrupt the timing if it's a running play.
So a different play call here on 2nd and 8 after the penalty. Allen releases, look out, Kevin Glenn is sacked in the backfield. Simone Lawrence and Eric Harris on the blitz get home and sack Kevin Glenn.
Delayed blitz here from Simone Lawrence. Right in the middle of your screen. Let's just track him. Number 21. Looks like he's going to go out as if he's going to cover Anthony Allen out of the backfield, and then just come straight up in the face of Kevin Glenn. Didn't have a chance.
So Ray Early to punt, averaging 46.8. With Brandon Banks awaiting. And that one's sailing near the sideline. Good kick by Early. And that helps pin Banks. If he punts like that, it will help contain the dangerous number 16 today. A 51-yard boot by Early. Banks minimal on the return. Back to Mosaic, where Lee Jones is on the sidelines.
Since joining the Riders last season, Ryan Smith has got a couple of concussions in his time, and I asked him if he has to change the way he plays to stop that, and he says he can't, because that's the way he plays. That's what's got him here, the fact that he puts his body on the line. Now, he has made one change, and that is his helmet. He's moved to a Rydell model that basically has a shock absorber in front. You'll see kind of the hexagon plate. You'll see players like Jake Dowdy, who's a linebacker who leads with his helmet to make tackles, as well as Chris Best, and even Mike Riley of the Edmonton Eskimos has this type of model to make sure it spreads out the contact so it's not deliberately in front of his head.
Seeing more and more of those helmets being utilized. Bobcat football, a touchdown on a short drive the last time. A little ride and decide for Zach Colaros, and he takes off and slides feet first near a first down when it looked like he wanted to give that ball to CJ Gable.
A delayed decision in the ride and decide, or zone read play that every team in the league runs. And this one to CJ Gable once he's established. Watch how he rides it there for a split second, takes a look at the end, Alex Hall. If Hall crashes down to Gable, he keeps it and gets the corner.
Of course, we watched Travis Lulay run up 105 yards against this Rough Rider defense in the last game at Mosaic. Just the 6th carry of the year for Zach Colaros. First down after an 11-yard run. Has some time, looking for Tolliver. Oh. Got it, and stays upright. Absorbed the hit of Tyron Brackenridge, and is down to the 35.
This is just good football. Tyron Brackenridge coming downhill, times it up. Tolliver on the slant route or the post over the middle is going to take a jolt here and somehow hang on and spin out of it. That's a good football play by both guys. Had to go down and get it too.
.37 on the pickup. Tolliver to the sidelines. Ryan Bombin is kicked out as a tight end. Tim O'Neill on that offensive line. And here's Gable, nothing doing that time as C.J. Gable is enveloped by number 97, John Chick. Flag on the play. So we should get one more play here in this first quarter.
Holding. Hamilton, number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. First down.
Peter Diakowski called the left guard.
Boy, it's amazing what can happen when the coaching staff starts to make some moves in the receiving corps and bring in some guys that maybe earn the right. Some of those veterans that have been playing all year have to pick up their game too. Terrence Tolliver, big catch over the middle.
Yeah, he fumbled on the final offensive play for Hamilton to seal their fate last week in Montreal. Big catch here, but now 1st and 20. Long out for Colaros. Far side of the field for Bakari Grant. Taken down by Alex Suber on the final play of the opening quarter. Rough Riders scored first, a field goal, and then the big play from Colaros to Junior Collins through 15 minutes here at Mosaic. It's 7-3 for the Ticats. It's in the books here at Mosaic. There are the numbers.
And a couple of early in that first quarter interesting, observations when it comes to the Saskatchewan Roughriders, this 0-4 team that still can't really seem to get pressure on the quarterback, especially when they're just rushing forward. Zach Colaros has had lots of time back there and really had no one in his face. That's problem number one. And we didn't see Jerome Messam in the first quarter, but for 3 plays.
And that must surprise everybody, considering he's the leading rusher in the league and no Ted Laurent for the Ticats.
Well, I know Anthony Allen and Messam both split the reps, and Anthony Allen had some nice runs in that first quarter, but Messam was leading the league coming in, and he's that intimidating force that they haven't really even shown here yet tonight. So we got to see a little bit of Jerome Messam.
And Colaros has, as you mentioned, Suits, a lot of time in the pocket. Showing blitz here. Brackenridge up to the line. Colaros the audible, 2nd and 11. Here comes heat off the edge, picked up by Gable. Colaros gets it away, and the pass is Grant trying to sell it. They're going to rule incomplete.
Take a look.
Grant was arguing he caught the ball or was interfered with.
We'll look to see if he got his hands under it first of all. It looks like he got his hands under it, and the question was, when he rolled on it, did the ball roll onto the turf and help him pin it to his chest? Tough to tell from that angle.
No challenge, and the field goal unit comes on. Be a 43-yard attempt by Medlock, who missed from 58 on the opening series of the game. Left footer puts that one right down the middle. It's good, and the Ticats have a 7-point lead.
Well, Lee talked about the style of play from Ryan Smith and that he's not going to change it. When you go back to that Argo game, I want to show you the big catch he was hurt on and that style of play. Big game against the Argos. He goes up, sells out, right here on this one. And puts his body on the line to come up with a monster catch over the middle that had the crowd going, OMG.
3 catches of over 30 yards in his first 2 starts of the year. And after missing back-to-back against the Lions, he returns to the lineup. Messam in the backfield here, in the direct snap to Messam, as Kevin Glenn with a little misdirection of his own. Messam stopped by Simone Lawrence.
Yeah, this was all trying to deceive the defense, and Kevin Glenn gets the Oscar for best supporting role here. Watch how he goes up and sells that he's trying to audible. He'll step up into the middle. Jerome Messam gets in position. Now he's going to try an audible. Hey, I'm going to change the play, guys. In the meantime, Dan Clark sends it back to Messam.
In 4 starts, Messam 75, 84, 85, and 62 yards.
Getzlaf ran his out, the full pattern.
Procedure. Saskatchewan, number 80. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That'll back him up 5. And so 2nd and 9, different play package comes in with Richardson and Messam returning to the huddle. So 2nd and 9 from the 36. And they screen it off, and it's Getzlaf with it. Getzlaf finds his way down the sidelines for a first down. Chipped out at the 52.
Sometimes this is a read for the receiver who's going to come in, look like he's going to block. If he doesn't have anyone to block, can release. But the timing of this play, to me, looked like this was a called receiver screen to Getzlaf. Steps up there as if he's going to block, then shoots out to the flat, outside those numbers, and moves the chains.
Different play. I'm not sure we've seen Getzlaf on that play, the way it was drawn up. 3 catches, 32 yards, and a first down at the 52. Glenn under pressure. That's a live football. A lateral that Dressler has to field, and now he'll throw it. And he's going to say that's incomplete. That he may be intentional grounding as well.
Well, no, if it crosses the line of scrimmage, he's okay. But the question is, did it cross the line of scrimmage?
I'm not sure it did.
If it did, it is a heads-up play by Weston Dressler to save the loss. Because with
ruling
the
on the
lateral,
field is an incomplete pass.
so they did get to the line of scrimmage because that was a lateral. You're right, Chris. As he came out of there, the ball was thrown behind Kevin Glenn by the time Weston Dressler gets pushed. So that's a live ball, and lateral can be thrown again. Dressler, before he goes out of bounds, gets it past the line of scrimmage.
That's an alert play. It had to go to the 51. I think he got a break there because that ball was in the bench around the 50. Nonetheless, pass and that was to Jamel Richardson. Another Roughrider first down at the tie gap 40-yard line.
This is Kevin Glenn throwing Jamel Richardson open and to his back shoulder. He knows he's got a defender closing here to the right of your screen, and Glenn will throw it to the back shoulder of Jamel Richardson, throw him open, and keep it away from the defender.
Only Nick Lewis with more receiving yards among active receivers in the Canadian Football League. Richardson with 18 there, over 8,300 in his career. Glenn with a pump, lumped into his own man, but dumps it off, and here's Messam. And holding on is the middle linebacker, Taylor Reed. Messam dropped at the 35. And that's close to 5.
Well, even when it looks like he's bottled up, Messam's picking up 5 yards. This is the timing off on this offensive play because of the pocket collapsing on Kevin Glenn. And allowed Taylor Reed to rally to that, to limit the game.
Spotted at the 36, so give Messam 4, 2nd and 6. Allen back in. Blocking as Glenn gets it away. Another completion, another first down. Dressler up against Rico Murray. Moves the chains.
Boy, Kevin Glenn got hit by pretty hard by his old buddy Justin Hickman. completing that throw to Dressler. Took him a second to shake this one. Had to step into that out. Dressler working on the short side of the field in tandem with Ryan Smith.
Well, the Roughriders driving now inside the 25. Here comes more heat. Glenn gets it away. End zone for Bag, overthrown, but he was under duress. Justin Hickman unloaded on Kevin Glenn.
That's back-to-back hits, and that was full blitz. So Kevin Glenn knew he wasn't going to have enough blockers and hung in there that extra second.
Trying to shake off that hit.
Whoa!
Hickman, who's registered his first sack of the year and had Glenn in his sights once again. 3 possessions for the Roughriders. They've registered 3 first downs on each series. Trying to make it 4 here, 2nd and 10. More heat. Glenn ducks under. Penalty coming up, and he connects. Complete to Messon down at the 5. Will it stand? Looks like it's coming back. Holding for Saskatchewan.
Looks like it's going to be a hold as this play extends.
Holding, Saskatchewan, number 89. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, 2nd down.
Call against Getzlaff.
Yeah, Getzlaff was back in that spot where he came in from the slot back position to come in and block. And as he steps in there, he's working on the halfback blitz on Rico Murray.
Whoa.
And Murray tries to get out, and he just twists him around.
So 2nd and 20. We just noticed Spencer Moore, Canadian fullback, has gone to the Rough Rider room. So the injury list
Would call
may
that,
be increasing.
Call that hold a borderline.
Here's Glenn firing it downfield into the corner. Too far for everybody. Intended for Richardson, and the field goal unit will have to come on.
After those 2 hits from Justin Hickman, Kevin Glenn was jumping around in the pocket on the holding call to Getzlaff, and then that time got rid of it in a hurry before Jamel Richardson had even found the football in the air.
So McCallum into the game.
Maybe lingering effects from a couple of hits from the D end.
Dressler, the holder, from 41 yards out. And McCallum good again. Now a 4-point lead for the Ticats. Only touchdown so far. Zach Caleros finding the newcomer to the Ticat offense, Junior Collins, in the end zone. With Thursday night football kickoff between the Lions and the Blue Bombers, both coming off losses, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific on TSN. Still waiting word on an update on Drew Willie. Hope that injury isn't serious. After the field goal, Ticats start at their own 35 with a 4-point lead. And a quick hitter, Collins has another catch. Up at the 40, Junior Collins has 5 more.
Quick game. Looks like Zach Caleros going with tempo, trying to call it on the line of scrimmage. The Rough Riders won't be able to make defensive substitutions.
Mark it at the 36, 2nd and 4. And off to Gable, big hole, 1st down. And again, John Chick the tackle, but C.J. Gable runs for a 1st down.
Or in this series, we're taking a look at big number 97, John Chick, who's been a bit of a mystery this season. Has only had 4 sacks going back to last year in his last 16 games. That from a guy who started in the first 7 in 2014 with 12. Putting out an APB on him right now.
Season opener last year against Hamilton. Rough Riders had 10 sacks against Caleros. 2 for Chick, 2 for Walker. 1st and 10, pressure on here. And it's a jazz session for Caleros. And he's in trouble and punished at the 50-yard line.
Joel Figueroa was one-on-one, and watching John Chick on this series to see if Hamilton, other teams have this season, but to see if Hamilton will double team him. Figueroa just works him over there. The right tackle, keeping him away from Zach Collaros.
Collaros gets 3. 2nd and 7. Changing the play. 4 receivers wide side. Collaros from the pocket. It's complete. And another first down. Bakari Grant with the catch. 2nd of the game for Grant, who came into this week with 4 second down conversion catches.
See, Collaros does a nice job of staying tight in the pocket here and not dropping too far back to give John Chick the chance to get around the corner. That's Collaros working in tandem with his tackles.
Now the hitch to Quincy McDuffie, and he twists his way into Rough Rider territory inside the 50. Actually, not much of a gain there. It looks like it might be 2nd and 11. We're going to call the loss. A lot of activity here with Dylan Ainsworth. Matt Webster checking into a different look defense for the Rough Riders. Chick actually lines up inside. Ainsworth outside of John Chick. Here they come. Collaros stands in, gets it to Tolliver, breaks the tackle, gets the first down. Shrugged off the initial tackle on the play from Tyree Hollins.
He did it in college at LSU. Got off to a bit of a slow start this season. Was targeted 23 times coming in, caught 14 of those coming into this game tonight. But he's made some plays. That's a huge play to break that tackle.
Now Collaros under pressure just throws that away. And it will be 2nd and 10.
53 games at LSU for Terrence Tolliver for 1,800 yards. The Tigers has got the big play ability, showing it a bit tonight. That was a big broken tackle.
Coming off his first 100-yard game, 7 catches, 106 against that stout Montreal defense. Ticats only put 13 on the board last week against the Alouettes. 10 here in the first half. 2nd and 10. Big time pressure and a sidearm incompletion. Trying to get it to Gable, but just trying to stem that rush.
Yeah, and John Chick got upfield and actually forced Collaros to get a little more depth in his drop, and then he finally backed out of there. But he's working on the opposite side this time on Jake Olson, knocked his hands away and forced that throw to the ground, that throwaway from Collaros.
But there was a flag in the Rough Riders secondary. Medlock and the punt team already out. They're going to pick up the flag.
There is no flag on the play. 3rd down.
Okay, the explanation sounds right. So it is 3rd down, and Medlock and the field goal team are on. Should be from around the 40 with Matt Coates holding. Medlock puts it up and has missed. 2 misses. Dressler's going to concede 1. So 58 yards, not a big surprise, but when Medlock misses from 40, it is. Missed twice. Back in Saskatchewan, Craig Butler with more on him. Here's Lee Jones.
You know, Craig Butler last year when he came back, the first time he came back as a Hamilton Tiger Cat, they gave him a ring. Not getting much, only booze in his second time around, as well as Andy Fantuz getting booze. Now, he has an interesting correlation with Butler and Fantuz. They both are from southwestern Ontario as well. They both went to Western, were drafted by the Saskatchewan Roughriders, and after winning a Grey Cup with the Riders, they then went as a free agent to Hamilton. In fact, the birthday of Andy Fantuz is December 18th. It's December 19th for Craig Butler, of course, 5 years later. I asked Butler if maybe he happened to do that because of following in his footsteps.
Hamilton,
he said
2.
it wasn't a conscious decision, but of course he did idolize Fantuz growing up in London.
Used to watch him at Western Mustang games.
Mitchell Bowl MVP 2008, Craig Butler. Andy Fantuz does not have a catch in this first half.
Offside against the Ticats once again. Sets up 1st and 5, and Allen unable to turn it upfield. Good defense there.
Donald Washington, short side corner, steps out, former Buckeye. He played a little strong safety in Kansas City. He showed it, and watch this hit. He steps up and puts it on Anthony Allen here.
Latest candidate to take the spot of Delvin Breaux. Ed Gainey started the year in that position. 2nd and 4. Fake to Messam into the hands of Pressler, and he is smothered right away. Terrific play by the defensive end, Adrian Tracy.
Interesting decision time here. Howard Chamberlain is going to take a good long look at this. It's like about a yard, maybe inside of a yard.
And it's not like 3rd and 1 decisions around here are debated.
Yeah, he knows they're under scrutiny. Either way.
Boy, when Dressler made the catch, you thought immediately he'd get a first down, and the defensive end stopped him right in his tracks. So it's less than a yard. They have to get to the 45. Brett Smith and the short yardage group are back in. 3rd down. Ticats at a goal line stand against Montreal. Flags come down, and Smith on 2nd effort spun for the 1st. Going to be offside again against the Ticats.
I was going to say, that's all Brett Smith there. He just would not be denied. I think
Offside. Hamilton, number 6. Penalty. 1st down.
That is the defensive tackle, Brian Hall.
Yeah, I think he lined up offside with his hand in the neutral zone, and Ken Austin's explaining that he believes the ball's been moving around by the center, Dan Clark, and they can't get that full yard based on where the football is if it's being adjusted. That's his argument. Call on Brian Hall.
First down, Roughriders up at the 49 of Saskatchewan. And a deep shot here for Richardson. And good tight coverage by Donald Washington on that.
He's played corner. He's played the nickel spot. We've seen him come up and put a big hard hit on Anthony Allen, the running back, former 4th round pick in the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs back in 09, and of course trying to find the replacement for Delvin Breaux. So far so good.
A little closer to the group they'd like to have back there with the return of both Courtney Stephen and Rico Murray. 2nd and 10 Riders. Gets left with a good jump. The screen, and tripped up on the play was the intended target, Anthony Allen. Looked like he may have tripped over his center, Dan Clark. So we hit the 3-minute warning here at Mosaic. Visitors with the lead.
Coming up on Live at the Half, my lawyer friend here. We'll talk about smart football players. We'll also hear more about Terrence. We'll also hear more about Kevin Glenn and Terrence Tolliver. That and more coming up in about 3 minutes.
Thank you, Fire. 2:49 remaining here in the opening half. Roughriders have to punt. And Brandon Banks awaits inside his own 15. Early with the wind at his back. Good boot. Fielded by Banks at the 4. Got something on the return. Up over the 30-yard line and wrestled out there. Brandon Banks doing the job, and early has to put the stop on it after 28 on the return. Be back in Regina right after this.
last offensive play to Anthony Allen that ended this drive for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Sometimes it's the little things that can cause problems. I mean, this is Dan Clark who just stumbles and falls right here, and Anthony Allen trips over him, or he's got 3 blockers and nothing but space in front of him on a screen pass to the short side of the field.
Ticats go to work from their 35, and the handoff straight ahead. Good surge by C.J. Gable up near the 40. Taken down by Alex Hall. Feels like we should have more offense. Neither team has turned the ball over. Neither team has a 2-and-out.
This is a good run by Gable, but I'm noticing again that Collaros is getting out there without contain. Now he's got the ball, so the players react. Alex Hall slow-played it a little bit. But remember, you mentioned Travis Lule running for over 100 yards on that exact play with the pulling it and keeping the ball around the edge.
Go double tight ends here on 2nd and 2. Back into the hands of Gable, and a big run. Oh, no. Open road for C.J. Gable, and taken down from behind at the 20-yard line by the defensive end, Alex Hall.
He just stuck his right leg in the turf. Big block to get him to the 2nd level and into the 3rd level, into the secondary. He's going to get blocks up front. Go ahead and run it. Big block right in the middle of your screen on Jake Downey, and that move in the open field. Wow.
Team that had averaged 62 yards a game on the run. Whoops. C.J. Gable rips off 48 in 1 carry. And a first down, and right back into his hands. It's the running Hamilton Ticats, and you don't say that very often.
Well, they got their guy back. And that move showed you just how excited. When I talked to Tommy Condell about C.J. Gable back in the lineup, he had this smile. He goes, man, I'm really excited about that. I mean, I'm really excited about having Gable in. And we've seen him. They're working him now. He's trying to get that game shape back.
7 carries, 90 yards. And an injured Saskatchewan Roughrider.
Yeah, Condell was, there's the offensive coordinator, was real excited about the triple threat in C.J. Gable. This was the plan coming out of camp. He broke his finger on a jersey on a fluke thing in training camp and just hasn't been available. But let's show that move. And hey, Tyree Hollins, I understand, man. You've been there. If you play defensive back, there's a lot of space on either side of you, but the good ones make you miss like that.
782 yards rushing in his rookie season, but he's been injury plagued since that point. Missed 17 games. C.J. Gable was 66 yards on this drive alone, and the rookie Rory Conup heads to the sidelines. The young defensive tackle Brendan Tinnick will check in. 2nd and 2. Ticats in the money zone, and Collaros looking into the end zone. Incomplete. Coverage by the former Ticat Jeff Tisdale on Terrence Tolliver.
Yeah, I saw that matchup. You got Tolliver, who's made a couple of big plays. And you know Hamilton's going to go back to him. He's got the one-on-one with Jeff Tisdale, who's going to come up into that 5-yard area. So he can be physical. Lets him go. The official good no call on the play, and then shoots the left hand in when the ball arrives. That's good coverage by the veteran.
So the Ticats have to send the field goal team in. Just their 7th trip to the red zone this year, now 3 for 7. And Medlock hits that. 8 points. Hamilton lead here late in the first half. Well, Investigation Discovery Channel brings you the twists and turns of real-life crime thrillers. With a free preview throughout July and August, check your guide to watch. I was a little surprised they went for the end zone on 2nd and 2.5.
The way Gable was running, but you wonder if it's just pulling people into the blocks to try and stop C.J. Gable, try and throw that fade route. It's a high percentage throw if you throw it correctly, because only the receiver can get it or it goes out of bounds.
From the 35, Roughriders back to work, and Rob Bagg was in tight coverage provided by Rico Murray, incomplete. Justin Hickman continues to be a migraine for Kevin Glenn today.
Well, and he took a couple of hits, and since then it just doesn't look like Kevin Glenn has been as comfortable in the pocket. Throwing a little early, that was a little off on the throw to Rob Bagg on the last one.
And Glenn, one completion on his last 6 throws. Looking at 2nd and 10 here. Pocket collapses. Glenn stepped up. Incomplete. Intended for Dressler, and Emmanuel Davis was on the scene.
That time Glenn had to jump around the pressure. Pocket is starting to collapse a little bit, and it didn't look like Dressler was open. He was covered well by Emmanuel Davis, but again, watch Kevin Glenn here. He gets the runs into his own guy, Xavier Fulton. Getting a rough ride in there.
Saskatchewan is challenging defensive pass interference on the previous play.
The Roughriders challenging that, thought the coverage of Davis was too tight, so they'll take a look.
You know, I saw Davis get up after they both went to the ground. He and Dressler kind of looking as if there could be a flag on the play, and maybe that's what Corey Chamberlain saw. Let's take a look. We've got a great ISO look of it for you. Curl route, no contact there.
The jersey pull, and you hear the reaction of Mosaic when that replay was up at the exact same time here on the scoreboard. Now, is that enough?
Not very often there's not a call when you see the jersey leave the back like that and get pulled. But was it impeding his progress, or he just grab it for a second? We showed you in slow motion. Let's show you regular speed and see if it impeded Dressler to the football. Usually when this jersey comes off the back like that, I'd say 90% should penalty.
Yeah, defensive pass interference. Hamilton at number 20. It will be first down Saskatchewan on the 46.
Call made, keeps the Roughriders offense on the field, and an important call, 69 seconds left.
Well, and I think Davis knew it. I mean, he knew he grabbed the jersey. He didn't have to. He was in perfect position and driving on that curl with Weston Dressler.
First set of downs to the 46 for the Roughriders. 3-man front, including Michael Atkinson. And Glenn steps up. Pass over the middle, caught. Dressler in front of Rico Murray and into Ticat territory.
Rico Murray thought he was going to get a little help from the safety Craig Butler, and Butler plays the football thinking this was an overthrow. Dressler climbs the ladder a little bit and goes and gets it. You see Butler in behind, thought he had a pick.
First down at the Ticat 49. Here comes pressure again. Glenn unable to connect with Dressler on that. And again, interesting matchup. Weston Dressler up against Rico Murray in this first half.
I was just about to mention that, Chris. It's been a good battle, and I've been watching it away from the football when the ball not thrown in Dressler's direction. Rico Murray, maybe one of the most versatile defensive players the Ticats have. I mean, he's played everywhere.
He was on my top 50 list. He had a terrific year last year, 5 interceptions. Moves all over that Ticat defense. Pretty versatile player. He's held Dressler to 3 catches for 32 in this first half. Here's Jamel Richardson a catch, and Craig Butler a tackle. Richardson will move the chains for Saskatchewan here. Plenty of time for Kevin Glenn to cut into this Hamilton lead.
Absolutely, and they'll call the ball on the line of scrimmage now. Get as many plays in this 40 seconds they can.
Another drive for the Roughriders in which they've registered 3 first downs. Average over 40 yards a drive this year. Easily the league leader in that department. There's the pass to Messam.
You know what I've noticed in this first half, Chris? The Hamilton Ticats defensively are tackling very well right now.
Saskatchewan.
Whether it be on that play where Simone Lawrence comes up on that dump, you could see it being set up that Messam was going to get some space there. There was one guy to beat. It was number 21, and Lawrence brought him down. And we've seen some very good tackling out in the open field by Orlando Steinhar's troops on defense.
His defense, number 1 in yards allowed, number 1 against the run, number 1 against the pass. So the Roughriders stop the clock with 25 seconds left. 2nd and 2 from the 30. And a quick hitter. Dressler's got it. Bounces off first contact and gets out. Good work by Dressler to move the chains and stop the clock.
One of the first broken tackles created by Weston Dressler, and it's a big one because it may save them a couple of seconds, get one more play in there. Pretty good hit against Simone Lawrence, but he didn't have his legs under him that time like he did with Messam.
So into the red zone, Messam in the backfield. First down, time for Glenn, takes a shot, grab bag, touchdown! First touchdown catch of the year for Rob Bagg.
Big. Rob Bagg adjusts his rope right at the top, gets in behind Rico Murray, and a little slight adjustment just to flatten it out and hit more into the seam. Gives him a nice spot and target for Kevin Glenn.
6th touchdown pass of the year for Glenn. The offense stays on the field, going for 2. Trying to even the count here with the Baker's dozen left in this first half. Bagg in motion. Glenn right back there. 2 more. Game tied. Kevin Glenn took a hit at the end of the play, but he marches the Roughriders to a tying score here late the first half.
He's hanging in there. It's been a rough ride in this first half for Kevin Glenn, and this last hit by Simone Lawrence may be the biggest on him. We've seen a couple from Justin Hickman. Glenn is trying to shake that off right now, but Simone Lawrence is going to come free. Glenn has to hold it a split second to get Rob Bagg open. Watch Simone Lawrence, like Anthony Allen, took the wide one instead of the closer one to him. Tough hit, but Rob Bagg, a little slap rope. And just as we talk about how versatile and well Rico Murray's been playing, Rob Bagg gets in behind him twice.
Yeah, got him off my top 50 list. So Glenn getting attention on the sidelines. But the drive aided by that pass interference challenge that kept the offense on the field. Kevin Glenn on the drive, 5 for 7, 61 yards on the touchdown pass to Bagg. Squib kick hit somebody up front, and live ball, but also Ticats get on it. Jeff Knox in the neighborhood, but Hamilton maintains possession. Jay Lanka comes up with it, and they might be one pass away from Medlock.
I was going to say,
field goal range.
15-yard throw, and that strategy backfires. Quick to the touchdown here, and a little influence here as Rob Bagg goes down the seam. Rico Murray watches, Getzlaff, and it holds him a little bit as he tries to back up and get depth with Bagg. He's watching Getzlaff, loses Bagg in behind him. That's the touchdown.
One completion perhaps away from getting into field goal range, but pressure on. And Caleros takes a hit, and that will likely put it into field goal range. But it looked like the play was dead.
Major foul. Unnecessary roughness. Saskatchewan under 0. 15 yards.
So Alex Hall
First down.
with a penalty that could give the Ticats a chance to regain the lead.
Claros out of bounds when he gets hit.
don't know. You think as if you're throwing the ball, and I can understand why.
I can see why he's got an argument. Yeah.
I mean, if Collaros just runs out of bounds, you might have a case, but...
And the contact was made as Collaros' right foot was touching the white stripe.
Well, they are against the wind, and they're not going to try a 52-yarder.
But they run a little hit screen here.
Two seconds left. So no field goal attempt. That'll be 51 yards from the 44. Collaros going to wind up and throw deep, and the ball dropped as Picard Grant wanted to run before he secured the football. So no damage done after the penalty, and a last-minute drive by Corey Chamberlain's offense gets Saskatchewan an even turn. 14-all as we head back to far end Logie.
Thanks, Chris. And the Riders have already lost one quarterback this season. They can ill afford to lose another. It looks like Kevin Glenn is okay as he walks off without any help there at the end of the half. Welcome back to CFL Live at the Half. Farhan Lalji along with the panel, Jock Climby, Milt Stiegel, and Chris Schultz. And Milt, let's start with you. We were talking so much about running backs for Saskatchewan coming into this game, but it's Hamilton's running back that's really stolen the show in the first half.
Yeah, all the talk was about those Saskatchewan running backs. But, hey, C.J. Gable is back, and this is a guy they've been missing. You think about these Tiger Cats, they haven't been able to run the ball at all this year, averaging a league low 62 yards per game. But C.J. Gable, he's a special running back. 6'2", 220, he's a bruiser, but he can also move around. He has great moves, and he's great out of the backfield. They are definitely happy to have him back. He has 89 yards in the first half. That's going to really help out that offense because they've been struggling scoring some points, Chelsea.
Milton, this is what's going to determine the second half. Can Kevin Glenn beat the blitz of the Hamlin Ticats? The Hamlin Ticats have an offensive defense in the sense that they come after you with their linebackers, their defensive backs. Early in the game, Kevin made some nice plays. The blitz comes, he gets the receiver, you get positive yardage on the blitz. Again, this time he sees it, he throws the line of scrimmage screen, you get some yards on the positive blitz. But you always pay a price when you take that risk on the blitz. And Kevin took a shot to the chops, beating the blitz again. That was really rocking. He got hit under the chin. How clear is he mentally? We'll find out in the second half. If they beat the blitz consistently, then the Riders are going to win the game. If they don't, it's going to be Hamilton's game.
Yeah, it's about game planning. That's what they'll be doing at halftime is thinking about how they can adjust. And you need a smart quarterback for that. And that just got me thinking about football IQ and how important that is. And you talk to any coach, and they'll tell you that there are some guys who are exceptional at it and some guys not so much. But there's some examples already of high football IQ. And it's a small thing that a lot of football fans won't recognize. But Zach Collaros here is a broken play. It was a bad snap. Right at this moment, he realizes, I have no opportunity to have a positive play. I need to avoid the negative play. He avoids a 7-yard loss, throws away. But he's a quarterback. He's used to that. He knows that part of his job. But Weston Dressler, here's a guy with an exceptionally high football IQ. Again, this is a broken play. He knows at this moment right now, it's going nowhere. He sees Getzlaff there. He flips the ball down. He doesn't get it over the line of scrimmage, but because he saw Getzlaff there, he knew immediately that by throwing the ball away, he could save his team 13 yards of field position. It is exceptionally rare to find a guy in that situation who could make that
You wouldn't
play.
have thrown it away. That would have messed up your quarterback rating. I know you. know you.
Yeah, as a receiver, I don't want to be 0 for 1. No.
Hey, smart players. We'll talk about smart coaches at some point. Jerome Messam, who's leading the league in yards from scrimmage, had just 3 touches in that first half. It was billed as the top offense in the league against the top defense. Defense won for most of that half. We'll be back.
Moments.
Burris, look out! And gone is Chris Williams. He'll score.
Lions offense out of the backfield. Andrew Harris has some time. Not thinking about field goal range, and this one is intercepted.
24-year-old from Oklahoma City, and look at him dance here. Franklin down the sideline. Is it caught? Yes, it is by Nate Coulthard. High formation, Marshall, and he is stopped by J.C. Sherritt.
Welcome back. Time now for Paul Lapalisse in the GMC Coaches Playbook. In Lapo, Schultz was talking about Kevin Glenn's ability to beat the blitz in that first half. And Hamilton does it in a lot of different ways, don't they?
I love Hamilton's package and their blitzes. What they're trying to do, hurry the quarterback. Don't give him lanes to throw to, guys downfield. They've done it a number of different ways, like you just said, Farhan. But the biggest thing they got to do is watch this clip. They got a guy coming out in the flat. The back leaves, so what happens? They had a guy go out with him. So when the defensive end leaves, now you got to understand there's an extra linebacker in here. Now they do a twist, so you'll see two players come in. You'll see Simone Lawrence come around the edge. Here's what's going to happen. These three got to move over. The tackle's got to come out. The guard will take the guy who came in. The center will go there. Kevin can't recognize it, gets sacked there because the coverage doesn't show a blitz. Here's another one. They're bringing a bunch of guys out. So you see the whole line sliding to the left. Spencer Moore's got to step inside. Take the inside guy. If he gets the inside guy, Kevin's got more time to throw the ball downfield. And again, that's what you got to do for him. You're going to have all kinds of blitzes from this Hamilton team. You know, what the Riders need to do is get some run game going. Jerome Messam, 1 carry for 6 yards, 26 yards rushing. If they can do that, that'll ease him off throwing it so much.
Yeah, no question about it. They've got to get him the ball more. As far as Hamilton is concerned, Zach Collaros is probably thrilled at the arrival of C.J. Gable and his ability to help out that offense. You've got two desperate teams, both in search of a win. Expect them both to pull out all the stops. Second half coming up next. Look at the halftime stats. Schultz, what jumps off the page at you?
Well, the rushing yards, 103 for the Hamilton Ticats and only 26 for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. But what is not shown here is neither team has turned the ball over. So I'm going to sit down the second half and wait for the big mistake.
Now let's head back to the stadium. Here's Lee Jones with Rob Bagg.
Rob, a late strike there in the first half. What does that touchdown mean to this crew as you guys go into halftime?
We're just battling. You know, we're just going to continue to play hard. We believe in one another, and, you know, we're right in another close game. So we just got to keep working and finish.
Kevin Glenn took a tough shot there. He's taken a lot of hits in this game. What can you say about his character?
He's a warrior, plain and simple. He's going to keep coming back and making the plays and hanging in there. He's a true warrior.
Appreciate that.
Yep.
Both offenses got off to slow starts, but in the final drives of that half, they both started to heat up. Expect more of the same in the second half.
And a half at Mosaic. The game is tied at 14 apiece as we head down to Lee Jones and Simone Lawrence.
Well, you've been able to hold this Riders rushing attack to just 26 yards in the first half. How are you guys able to do that?
We always stop the run. I mean, we're not really worried about that. You know, they got okay backs, but at the end of the day, we know we're coming into this game. All we have to do is just tackle and make our plays.
How about preparing for the second half, maybe not knowing if you see Kevin Glenn or not?
I mean, Kevin Glenn's a great quarterback. I'm sure everybody that they have are ready to play.
Thanks for this.
Hey, no problem.
And a little turn to the Saskatchewan bench at the end of the interview. We are told that Kevin Glenn will start the second half. Brett Smith was rather active in loosening his arm up, but Glenn, who took some shots in that first half, is going to continue.
Rough ride in the first half for Glenn. In fact, when he left at the start of halftime, it looked like he might have been hurt, but has regrouped and ready to go in this second half.
And the Roughriders will get their hands on the football first as Medlock gets set to kick it off. Ryan Smith is deep. Ticats trying to even their record at 2-2, and the Roughriders in pursuit of their first win of the season. Nick Dipsky on the return. Tristan Jackson out of the lineup after an injury last week. Dipsky brings it out beyond the 20. And Kevin Glenn, who took some punishment in the first half, leads the offense out.
Yeah, Justin Hickman was involved, a couple from Simone Lawrence. And he was a little rattled as that first half came to an end. Jumping around in the pocket, a little unsettled back there. That was a big one right near the end of halftime. And as he walked off, he wasn't looking real good. And comes back to start the second half.
Last possession of the first half, a touchdown march capped by a TD and 2-point catch by Rob Bagg. And here we go, Anthony Allen, second level, and all the way up to the 45. Not much running in the first half, but off and running to start the second.
Well, when you take a look at that first half, Jerome Messam had just 1 carry. Anthony Allen had 4 for 17, so just 5 carries to the tailbacks as they work in tandem here in Saskatchewan in the first half.
19 for Allen. This time a play fake to Allen, and it's Dembski. Youngster going to turn the corner. And into Ticat territory. He steps out at the 50, but that's 16 more. Rob Tag helping spring the newcomer.
You get to be the tackler here on Nick Dembski. As he comes out of the backfield and comes right at you. Break down, make sure you keep your head up. Tackle, put your face right in the 9. Okay, you went out of bounds, you're okay.
S.J. Hedera hurt last week, opening the spot for Dembski to return. 16 and a first down at the Ticat 51. And pass off the fingertips of Dembski and into the danger zone. Courtney Stephen was in the neighborhood.
And when we talked coming in that it was strength against strength for Saskatchewan, their running game led the league, 162 yards per game. So Jacques Chapdelaine switched it up, only ran the ball 5 times in the first half. Orlando Steinauer, defensive coordinator, had the best run defense. So if you look at that matchup, you have to believe that because of the play of the Hamilton defense coming in, it pushed Chapdelaine away from running the ball in the first half. We'll see if he goes back to it.
Messam and Jamel Richardson check back in, 2nd and 10. Pressure on. Glenn took a hit, got it away. Weston Dressler steps out at the 25. And it's another Roughrider first down.
Layered in behind the linebacking core underneath and the deep coverage in the zone. Dressler just reads it on the fly. You could see him look at the deep coverage and realize he was going to break it in between that level. Pressure coming off the top of the line here, and another hit taken by Kevin Glenn.
This time Eric Harris got a shot in. 26-yard pickup for Dressler. And a first down at the 25. Hitch screen, Dressler again. And it bubbled back in behind blocking, and he's tackled at the 19 by Brian Hall.
6 catches for Weston Dressler, pushing 100 yards here.
Coming off back-to-back 100-yard games, and already 3 catches here in the second half.
And remember, this offense is number 1 in net yards, so they weren't just running the ball well in these 4 losses. Over 340 yards per game passing it.
Ryan Smith in motion. A lot of motion. Kevin Glenn. And the slant, Messam inside the 5. He's dropped at the 3.
That was protection. Glenn finally had time to wait for these rubs to develop to his right. Now they're going tempo on the line here inside the 5.
So 1st and goal. Back in the hands of Messam, trying to crash down, and he had to re-secure that ball that nearly popped out.
It looked like Messam was going to take the ball and try and reach across the goal line with it, and as he did that, someone swatted it. So he went to reach with the left hand, and he had to juggle that in a hurry. Taylor Reed right there.
Hey, defense,
now the jumbo team checks in. Matthew Rayup, the fullback. Rory Conapu was shaken up in the first half, part of this short yardage offense. 2nd and goal at the 1. Ticats turned the Alouettes away last week. Brett Smith is in. Follows the right side. Touchdown.
Well, it's a gamble, but it pays off for Smith.
Looked like he might be in some trouble.
Yeah, gamble to run along the line of scrimmage like that because you open up opportunities for a shooting linebacker to get you. You start running that way, it's a gamble. Rico Murray had a shot, but he got the corner. And the gamble pays off.
So touchdowns on consecutive drives, the last of the first half, the initial possession of the second half, and the Roughriders have the lead. And McCallum for the extra point. It's good. 21-14 Saskatchewan. Brett Smith with the touchdown run, his 3rd touchdown of 2015. 8 plays, 86 yards in just under 5 minutes.
I like the first call out of the gate on this drive. Went over 86 yards and started with the running play to allow those old linemen to fire off the ball and go get somebody. Nice run. That was a layer throw in between the zone to Weston Dressler. Had a couple catches. Big second down conversion to Messam, and Brett Smith finishes it off.
By the way, the run by Allen that ignited the drive, the first time Hamilton has surrendered a 20-plus rush this year. It is Banks. He and McDuffie battling over that football, and that return not going very far. Alex Suber downfield in a hurry.
Where it gets tough when you're the visiting team and the crowd gets behind. Gets behind the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Now offensively, Zach Calera is going to have to deal with some crowd noise. The crowd back in it, back-to-back touchdowns.
I would think on a kickoff like that, the memo should be 16 gets anything he gets near to. That'd be the memo I'd send out.
I'm with you on that.
Deepest start of the game for the Ticats. Now down by 7. Start at their 15. And Colaros on a roll, looking downfield. Alex Hull in pursuit, and the pass is caught. They're going to rule it a catch by Bakari Grant right in front of the Ticat bench.
He keep his feet in. That was real close along that sideline. First of all, for Colaros to get it out of there, I think it was Alex Hall and Chase. And he just gets it off in time. Now where Bakari Grant's feet in bounds when he makes the catch. You just need one.
A nice job of tight-roping. But Corey Chamberlain wants the command center to take a closer look, just to be sure. Challenge is out.
Yeah, worth another look, I think, if you're Corey Chamberlain. A play that gets Hamilton out of some real bad field position, if it stands.
Saskatchewan is challenging the ruling of a completed pass on the play. We'll review the play.
May have had the best look at it.
Sometimes you can see the black pellets come up from this new style turf.
Guys took a little extra time to enhance the shot we had. See if we can make it more distinguishable. It's like that foot is, it's like that right foot is sweeping across the turf. Is it before the left?
Yeah,
looks like he's in with both feet.
I'm with you, Chris. I think he's in. You take a look at that foot right there, the toe, and you see the pellet move inside the white line, and that left toe is down.
In fact, that looks like terrific footwork by Bakari Grant. Planted that left foot just on the green.
The ruling on the field stands. First down, Hamilton.
Can understand the challenge, but that's just a terrific play by the receiver.
Yeah, no question. I think it's a good challenge. Corey Chamberlain, take another look at that. But it stands. He loses the challenge, and Zach Colaros got his team out of bad field position.
So the Riders open the touchdown series of the second half with a 29-yarder, and now the Ticats start with a 29-yard play. And a first down up at the Hamilton 43. 4 receivers short side, and they give it to Gable, who comes back the other way and gets drilled at the end of the run. There's Tyree Hollins with a hit, one that got away in the first half.
There's a little bit of the payback for Tyree Hollins. We showed you that C.J. Gable move in the open field on Hollins. This time he sees the running back kind of tangled up there, and he's got a shot, so he takes it. Gets pretty excited about that hit.
3 for Gable, 2nd and 7. come. Called Andy Fantuz's number. Here comes the pressure. And Calero steps up. He's got a first down and more. And his second run of the game, dashing down into Rough Rider territory. Andy Fantuz helped clear the way.
Pressure coming from Jake Dowdy, who's going to line up at the middle linebacker spot. And he comes around. It looked like to me Tyron Brackenridge is coming as well. There he is there. And it's full out pressure. Middle vacated. Brackenridge picked up by C.J. Gable.
18 for Polaris, who goes no huddle again. 4 receivers far side. Back into the hands of Gable. Slowed up. And knocked back by Jeff Knox, who led the Rough Riders coming into the game in tackles with 23. Tied for second through week 4 of play.
Yeah, and 2 guys that Corey Chamberlain real high on. Jeff Knox Jr. and Jake Dowdy in the middle. Feels like they're going to be great pros for a long, long time. You know, they, in all of their plays on defense so far this year, they have not committed a foul. No penalties on either guy.
Ticats trying to extend the drive, 2nd and 6. Number 2 in second down conversions this year behind the Rough Riders. Calero with time, and the pass to Fantuz.
Saying no.
He's saying he dropped it. Pass was behind him, and it is incomplete.
Yeah, that far official from our vantage point was waving. Ball thrown behind because of the pocket collapsing on Collaros. He just couldn't step into it. You see the ball bounce on the turf underneath Fantuz.
And the first time that Andy Fantuz has been targeted in this game. So Medlock comes on. They're going to try a 49-yarder into the breeze. And Medlock's got it with authority. Medlock nails that. And it now a 4-point Rough Rider lead. Both teams scoring on their first possessions of the second half. The Rough Riders touchdown march keyed in part by number 7, Weston Dressler. Again, Lee Jones.
We haven't seen Riders quarterback Darian Durant since the season opener here at Mosaic Stadium after he ruptured his Achilles. He's mainly been doing a lot of work behind scenes with video, but he was at practice this last week, and yes, he was showing off his skills on a scooter. He received it from Brendan Labatt, who uses the scooter at training camp in Saskatoon to go from the field to the dorm. I asked Brendan if he received anything in return. He said, hey, I just got a text from Darian Durant. That's all I need. So Darian Durant can't drive the offense, but he can drive a scooter.
New definition for mobile quarterback.
Got the little basket in front, too. That's put your lunch
cute,
in there, yeah.
Threading the needle. Ryan Smith has a catch as Kevin Glenn starts a new drive with a 16-yard connection to Smith.
You have to give Kevin Glenn a lot of credit here. I mean, that's a tight window to get that in there to Ryan Smith. Steps into this throw, puts it right on him. That little backside shoulder there with Courtney Stephen coming inside out, and Glenn's hanging in there. Banged up pretty good in the first half.
Game opening up a little bit offensively. Messam in the backfield, first down, and the fly sweep to Dressler. Rico Murray in chase, and they'll drop Dressler after a yard. Courtney Stephen finishes him off.
So far in this game, there has not been a 2 and out. We'll see if that streak ends right now as Kevin Glenn now in 2nd and long and pushing that 300-yard passing game.
So 2nd and 9. Dressler and Getzlaff both in motion. Glenn pumps under pressure and brought down. Taylor Reed, the middle linebacker, has the sack, and that's the second for the Ticats here today.
Yeah, he's going to loop around. This isn't a 2 and out, obviously, because of the first throw from Kevin Glenn for the first down. So that streak remains the same, but he's going to wrap around here. And Taylor Reed gets there. Stunts and blitzes up front. If Hamilton is getting pressure on Glenn, it's from the blitz package.
It is the first stop for the Ticat defense in the last 3 possessions. And early kicking to Banks. This may be returnable. Banks at his 25. Little stutter step and nothing doing. Jeff Knox downfield, and Banks wasn't going anywhere. CJ Gables had a terrific return. His first game of 2015, already over 100 total yards, 96 on the ground. Ticats on offense with Gable. Our sack tally is brought to you by Purelator. Tackling hunger, a promise we can all help deliver. Couple for the Ticats, one for the Roughriders so far.
Ticats providing the pressure through their blitz package. Saskatchewan going with four-man pressure for the most part. Seen a little bit from Tyron Brackenridge.
First down on the handoff inside. CJ Gable getting close to a 100-yard game in his return.
You take a look at this Rider defense, been under a lot of scrutiny of late in this 0-4 start. Ranked 6th in the league against the pass, and holding Collaros to 10 of 17 for 164 and a touchdown so far. Almost 3 quarters.
Takeaways have been an issue, or the lack of them.
Lack of them.
Just 2 so far. No turnovers in the game. Gable's got over 100. 2nd and 5. Pressure on. Flag down. And Collaros will get stopped short of the first down.
Alex Hall immediately signaled that this will be holding against Hamilton.
Would be 3rd and looks like about a yard. So do they take the penalty? Hall with the lone sack for the Roughriders, the first in 3 games for Saskatchewan.
Holding. Hamilton, number 61. 10-yard penalty. Repeat. 2nd down.
That's the right tackle. Joel Figueroa out of Miami. 2nd start of the year for Figueroa.
First half, there was great protection up front. Not much pressure from the Saskatchewan defense, but that inside move on the twist to get Alex Hall in there, Figueroa basically tackled him. I think it was too close, and maybe Corey Chamberlain thought that they might go for it on 3rd and 1.
Collins in motion, 2nd and 15. Tisdale a blitz, and Collaros gets away and throws downfield. It's complete, and there is Collins with a big first down grab.
Well, this is just make it up on the fly, because a couple of receivers in the same area. Collins one of them. And it was the corner blitz from the backside of the play. Jeff Tisdale came on and blitzed, but you see 2 Ticat receivers in the same area there, and Collins comes up with it.
25-yard gain for Collins. A handoff to Gable, not going anywhere. Door slammed in his face. And it's going to be 2nd and, well, almost the full 10, 9.5.
Trying to keep her Collins.
He's got a deep depth chart of receivers.
University of Mount Union, Alliance, Ohio.
Had a Mount Union fan tweet us and say it's Jasper, but he's asked to be called Junior Collins.
Yep.
2nd and 9, pressure on, and this time brought down. Darius George has his first sack of 2015.
Long time coming for George, who's been playing a little banged up.
There is, however, a flag in the secondary, so let's hold on.
Illegal contact on a receiver. Saskatchewan, number 21. 10-yard penalty. First down.
And you could see Tisdale making an argument, and that's why.
There's the 2 matched up. Tisdale in that press. Doesn't let go after 5 yards.
He was released by the Alouettes after a terrific couple of years there. 12 interceptions in the last 2 years. Might have been some concern about his ability to adapt to the new illegal contact rules.
Well, he was fine for the first 5. He just needed to get off that jam. Gives a new set of downs to Hamilton because of it.
Gable on the carry down to the 47, close to 4. Jeff Tisdale, an Eastern All-Star last year, 29 career interceptions. But one of those physical defenders who have to adapt a little bit more. 2nd and 6. Here comes the blitz. Caleros in trouble, gets away, and it's complete, but Bakari Grant contained there as well. Terrell Mays on the scene after Brackenridge caused some trouble on the safety blitz.
Hamilton Tiger Cats dealing with all kinds of things right now. They're dealing with crowd noise. Watch Ryan Bauman right here, the right guard, try and handle the noise. He looks back to Caleros with the signal. Then he taps the center to make sure he knows and get his spacing. Now they got Tyron Brackenridge coming off the end. Now Caleros ducks him, but the throw short of the first down.
First punt of the game for the Tiger Cats. Would be a 51-yard field goal. They just made one from 49, but O'Neill looking for the pin, and a flag comes down as O'Neill sends it along the goal line. It doesn't go in. So there's Dembski surrounded. Caldwell the tackle. Let's check out the flag.
Little backspin there.
Well, we'll have the ruling from Dave Foxcroft when we come back.
Kicks. Hamilton. That's a 10-yard penalty. 3rd down will be repeated. The no yards penalty is declined.
Those 5, the new rule this year, cannot leave until the football is kicked. Now, let's see if one of them did. That's one of the 2 calls here. It's the interior 5, and I think it's right there before the kick on the outside. Can't get the number, but will force Hamilton to do it again.
So they'll march it back, and O'Neill will punt the football again. Again, the first punt of the game for Hamilton.
This could be a big switch in field position.
On
That
the
was
previous
inside
play,
the 5.
we had illegally downfield on a kick. Hamilton, number 42. That's a 10-yard penalty. 3rd down will be repeated. We also had no yards against Hamilton, and that penalty is declined.
So Dave Caldwell, who made the tackle downfield, was the man who moved prematurely. So they'll reset with Dembski awaiting at the Rough Rider 10.
35 allowed to go.
Ticat punt team resetting there. And a line drive boot that will bounce around the 20 and stay in play for Dembski. And he'll step out at the 18-yard line. So not a deep pin, but O'Neill gets the job done.
Well, 15 yards of field position on that exchange after the penalty.
Under a half minute to go here in the 3rd quarter. Riders with 6 3rd quarter first downs. Hamilton with 4. And the Rough Riders with a 4-point lead. Kevin Glenn in his 175th start, looking for his 90th career win. Messam the handoff. Left side pushing the pile. And he has close to 8.
A little surprised they didn't establish Messam in the first half, because when you're playing against a good run team, you can go ahead, challenge, best against best, strength on strength. And a big back like Messam can wear down the tacklers. Simone Lawrence, Taylor Reed, Eric Harris. You keep pounding a guy who's 250 coming at you, and by the 4th quarter, it gets tougher to tackle.
Give him 9, 2nd and 1. And this play doesn't get off. A procedure call against the Riders. Little things, huh?
Saskatchewan, number 69. 5-yard penalty remains 2nd down.
It really is.
Rory Watman comes into the game as a tight end and gets called on the procedure.
And you remember the play where they had the screen set up on 2nd down to Anthony Allen and tripped on Dan Clark's arm, or he had a big gain and possible points there. It's the little things that add up on you. And in an 0-4 team, self-doubt starts climbing in there again.
Different play call, 2nd and 6. And inside their own 25. A lot of movement on that Ticat defense, and here they come. Glenn over the middle. Rico Murray the pick. And Murray down to the 5, and he's tackled. A touchdown-saving tackle by Kevin Glenn. He might be back in my top 50. Rico Murray has his first interception.
Well, you've got to make up your mind. But this is a big play, and he jumps it.
Well, a good decision by Rico Murray. Watch him jump this route. Taking it away from Rob Bagg. First turnover of the game's huge. Well, one of the biggest plays of the game happens on the final play of the third quarter. There are the numbers through 45 minutes.
You take a look at those numbers. I love that Rico Murray is back on your list, Chris, in the top 50. And, for a defensive back, you have to have a short memory. Rob Bagg gets in behind him to end the first half on a touchdown and a convert. Comes back and makes a nice play on the interception.
But we have talked about this 0-4 Rider start, and little things add up. They had 2nd and 1. Procedure call, and then they get into a passing situation and make a mistake.
Yeah, 2nd and long, and then a nice play made by the defense. Now they're on the doorstep, poised to take the lead. It's those little things that have added up to this 0-4 start for Saskatchewan.
Well, Rico Murray has set it up for the Ticats. 1st and goal. Down on the 3-yard line. Laro's hands off, and Gable, not much there. Back to the line of scrimmage, and not a whole lot more into the teeth of that Rider defense. Jake Dowdy and Jeff Knox with Derek Walker at the bottom of the pile.
And a late flag, I believe it's Brandon Banks, who was working on halfback Tyree Hollins, and well after the whistle, slammed him down into the turf.
Major foul, unnecessary roughness, Hamilton number 16. 15-yard penalty, 2nd down.
And how costly a penalty is that?
Well, you'll take a look on the left of your screen. Well after the play is over, Banks comes up and just blindsides him and draws a penalty. Terrible decision by Brandon Banks.
That's not the referee's fault. 2nd and goal. Noise gets amped up here. Caleros rolls, sets, fires into the end zone. Incomplete. Nearly picked off. Alex Super there. Intended for Bakari Graham.
That's why Corey Chamberlain wants veterans when he needed to replace Tristan Jackson. Marche Green, he went out and got Tisdale, and then Alex Suber. And Suber comes off his man and responsibility, reading the throw from Caleros to get underneath and help. So Bakari Grant has to become DB and just get it out of there, or that's intercepted. That's a veteran sliding underneath to help his teammate.
And you're right, Bakari Grant might have saved 3 points for the Ticats here with the defensive play that allows Medlock to come on to try from 25 yards out, and Medlock puts it through. So we're just under a minute into the 4th quarter, and it's a 1-point game. Roughriders with the lead. Jerome Messam getting set to go back to work. Costly penalty for Brandon Banks, who had to make that walk to the sidelines. With more, Lee Jones.
Yeah, guys, Ken Austin didn't say much to him, but basically looked at him and had his stern voice out, basically saying, you do that on the 2-yard line? Brandon Banks then eventually took a seat on the bench, was by himself for a while, but his teammates have joined him.
Settled for 3 when they could have had 7. Story now is Brett Smith in at quarterback, the handoff to Nick Dembski. We have talked about the punishment Kevin Glenn has absorbed today, and Smith here in the 4th quarter at the controls for the Roughriders.
Yeah, when Kevin Glenn threw that pick to Rico Murray, he made the tackle on Murray short of the goal line and got up holding his passing arm.
So the Riders now 3 deep into their quarterback depth chart. 2nd and 5, low snap, Dembski fields it well and gets the pass away. Gets left to catch. Flags down in the backfield. Couple of flags.
Holding. Saskatchewan number 67. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Center Dan Clark, and so the Smith completion is negated.
Adrian Tracy was moved from the defensive end, walked in and played head up on Dan Clark, and Clark tackled him. And there's Kevin Glenn talking to trainer Ivan Gutfriend.
So second down and 15. Mentioned Tracy moving inside. The Ticats hoping Eric Norwood is ready to go next week when the Ticats play their home opener against the Argos. Smith's got some time, and now running out of it and taken down back inside the 20. Emmanuel Davis, halfback blitz, gets home. Orlando Steinauer sending pressure against the young quarterback.
It looked like that Brett Smith was trying to set up a screenplay. There's Weston Dressler and Anthony Allen. Let's just take a look if that was the design. Dressler has to pick up the blitz coming from the safety in Craig Butler, so he can't get out there, and it cuts Butler at the line of scrimmage. I'm wondering if that was supposed to be the target for Smith.
So officially the first 2 and out of the game. And Brandon Banks waits as he get a chance to atone for the penalty that cost the Ticats a chance to score. Well, great cover. Terrific play there by Matt Webster. Flying downfield, but Gunner gets to Banks. Zach Caleros down by 1, 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Leads the Ticat offense back out. CFL on TSN is brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. And we're at Mosaic, fourth quarter, 1-point game, 12 minutes to play. One thing about the 0-4 Riders, they're not dull. Caleros throws complete, and Andy Fantuz has a catch. Waiting for that number to get called.
Yeah, they're not dull. You look at those 4 losses by a grand total of 12 points. 2 games going to overtime, 1 to double overtime against Toronto. They have been close. They have been in this position. Can they finish is the question. Caleros needs to finish an offensive drive. Field goals the last 2 times are just 3 of 8 in the red zone on the season.
Fantuz catch a first down and a big to Gable, a pump. Looked like Grant was open, but he goes back to back to the former Rider, Andy Fantuz, and another Hamilton first down.
Caleros gets Alex Hall in a bind because he gets outside and gets his defensive end in space and basically freezes him. Watch as Caleros runs the right in the side. Now he's going to keep it and get Alex Hall in a bind out here, and now he's got the option to run it or throw it. Hall cuts off the containment, doesn't allow him to get out there, so he throws it back into the Fantuz.
Back-to-back catches, the last one 19 to Fantuz, who went over 7,000 career receiving yards last week. Pitch left side Gable, and the Roughriders waiting on him. Jake Dowdy, the middle linebacker, read the mail that time. Young guy came into the league, tied for 5th in tackles on the year. Out of Utah State, the same school that produced John Chick. So a loss of 1 and a second down play here. Passing situation, Matt Webster, an extra DB in for the Roughriders. Here comes the blitz. Caleros will screen it off. And away goes Gable with a cutback and brought down at the 25. It's a first down. Webster prevents further damage, but a 13-yard gain.
This is a play that Tommy Condell drew up to beat the blitz from Tyron Brackenridge, to have Gable slip out in behind the blitzing safety. They've been taking Brackenridge and trying to block him. This time they let him go and slip the screen out right in behind him. That's Tommy Condell, the offensive coordinator, drawing it up to beat a particular blitz from the Riders.
That's the chess match. Big play by Gable. Back into his hands and running room up the middle as C.J. Gable crashes down to the 17.
Now, the Ticats, as I mentioned, been in the red zone a couple of times of late, 2 field goals. They're at 37%, or just over. Not good enough. Can they finish in the red zone?
And off to Gable again. Hopped over one and should have the first down.
Did it on his own there. There was Brackenridge back there, and he's been close on a couple.
Little hurdle over the safety by Gable to convert that second down play.
We've seen him do that a few times.
Alex Hall checks in. C.J. Gable now at 116 yards for the Ticats on the day.
Watch the hop right over Brackenridge.
Third trip to the red zone. Ticats spend a lot of time practicing in this area, and Collaros is going to call a timeout.
Timeout
with some confusion.
Hamilton.
I showed you earlier on that Ryan Bombin was reaching over to Mike Filler and trying to make sure that he could get the signal and the spacing up front. Looked like a communication issue. They got to call the timeout and a crucial play on first down. Can get the first down without scoring.
This drive started on the 43, 7th play of the drive. Bombin, the former Montreal Alouette, acquired at the draft. Flag comes down, quick hitter and incomplete. Off the outstretched hand of a guy who has the record for most one-handed catches in a minute, Andy Fantuz.
See what this flag is. It came out early. It's going against Hamilton. They're giving Saskatchewan the options.
Just checking the 3rd career 100-yard game for Gable.
Procedure, no end. Hamilton, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
In this crucial moment in the game, Brandon Banks is not out there offensively.
Little things again, but they burn a timeout and then an illegal formation. And it gets a little further away from the goal line.
And Collaros couldn't hear Ken Austin trying to get the call to him. Banks just gets to watch.
20-second clock running down inside 10 as they break the huddle. First and 15. Snap at 1. And Collaros one-hops it to an open Andy Fantuz.
Wide open. Had slid into the middle and was looking at, even if he goes down there immediately, they're looking at a second and real manageable 2 or 3 yards. Fantuz going to work himself right into the hole, as he's done so well for so many years in the league, and he just one hop it to him.
Second and 15. And again, they just get the snap off, the throw, and it's complete down around the goal line. Fantuz to the end zone, and it is a touchdown, Ticats.
No mistake from the quarterback on this throw. And that's what the great quarterbacks do. They all make that one mistake, the bad throw that's intercepted or goes into the carpet, but Collaros steps back.
The ruling on the field is a touchdown.
And throws a dart to Fantuz. Let's see if he crossed the plane with the football before down by contact.
Macho Harris had a in the grasp.
Still not down, knee not touched.
Very close.
Yeah, that was. I'm wondering if that
Previous play of a touchdown is under review by the command center.
Let's take one more look because I'm not sure about that right knee. Fantus is diving. You try and slow it down as much as you can. Now, does that right knee touch before the ball crosses? Right there. If that's where it touched, was the ball across the plane?
We'll let the command center earn their money.
Yeah. That's
but we
close
hadn't heard from 83 until the fourth quarter. And then the most important drive of the game, he becomes a huge factor here. Is it a go-ahead touchdown or first and goal at the one?
Review, the player's knee was down before he crossed the goal line. The ball will be placed at the 1-yard line. It will be first down, Hamilton.
They've got some work to do. See, I think the knee touched and then bounced back up off the turf. It touches right there. That knee's down, and there's the football. Good call by the command center.
And the plunge in for the touchdown. Jeff Matthews takes it in. One more play needed.
He just threw it out of the stadium.
26-21, and now they'll likely go for two. To get another football.
Now off the right side. In fact, Fantus punted his out of the park, and Matthews, I don't know if he was trying to throw it to the crowd, but he threw it right out.
67-yard touchdown drive, 10 plays, and now 1 for 3 in the score zone on the day. Going for two, trying to make it a 7-point Hamilton lead. Colaros back in. And into the corner, open man, Bakari Grant's got it. 28-21, Hamilton by 7 with just under 7 to go.
Back-to-back outstanding throws from Zach Colaros. After bouncing one on first down to Fantus, he hits him right down the goal line. They score the 2-point convert. He got nice air under this, drops it in the corner. Bakari Grant just had to track it down.
Big drive by the Ticats. You could say they knocked this one out of the park and lead by 7. Stakes join Brian Williams for the second race of the Canadian Triple Crown, live 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TSN. Well, they've gone to overtime twice in 4 games. Saskatchewan down by 7 with under 7 to go, looking to get back on even terms after a go-ahead touchdown by Jeff Matthews on the sneak.
They'll have to do it with third-string quarterback Brett Smith, it looks like. Kevin Glenn still without the helmet on.
Medlock kicks it off. Weston Dressler from 5 yards deep. And just makes his way to the 20. Emmanuel Davis leading the surge downfield.
Well, it took a while for Zach Colaros to find his #1 target coming into the game tonight, but most crucial point he does, and that's 83. Andy Fantus targeted 28 times in the Ticats' first 3 games. He was 3 for 46, including the big one. Interesting decision there, and I'm sure it'll be talked about. And Corey Chamberlain took the penalty and put Hamilton in 1st and 15 before that Fantus catch rather than 2nd and 10.
So Brett Smith out of Wyoming, the school that produced a guy by the name of Tom Wilkinson, is in to finish up here and under duress. Unable to get that hitch into the hands of Rob Bagg. As Hamilton dialing up the pressure on the young quarterback.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? I mean, try and see if you can rattle him and get some pressure on him, force an errant throw or a timing issue for the quarterback and Brett Smith. And that time it was Eric Harris and a little bit of Craig Butler. Steinauer dialing up. Let's see if he does it again. He's got Butler down low.
Matthew Rhea checked into the Offensive set, 2nd and 10. Flag goes down.
Should be a free
pass to the out. Intended for Richardson, incomplete.
I think left side of that, left side of that Hamilton defense jumped on the snap count from Brett Smith. And staggered count. Used his voice to pull the defense offside.
Hamilton, number 99. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
So 2nd and 5.
Whoa.
Again, Kevin Glenn out since the interception on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Smith rolls, fires, complete, 1st down. Getzlaf's got it.
I like this play calling from Jacques Chapelain to get the young quarterback out in different launch points, get him out on the run a little bit, so you cut the field down. He doesn't have to read quite as much looking downfield. Gets out there, he cuts it in half, and now he just picks Getzlaf right near the sideline.
Now hands it off, and straight ahead it's Messam, and you think with the young quarterback in, they might have to lean on this running game here at a critical time.
Yeah, and lots of time to do it. I mean, you just want to keep with your game plan. Messam took the pile an extra yard or two there.
Smith,
in fact,
Brian Hall down, yeah. And so no Laurent, and now the other big run stopper in the middle of that defensive line, Brian Hall, has to come out.
Engage with Dan Clark, and when Messam hits the hole, Brian Hall gets kind of twisted around. You keep working there, and then you see to the right of your screen, right there, he got twisted, rolled on. Messam moved the pile.
So the gregarious defensive tackle gets up and makes his way to the sidelines. One of those energy guys on the Ticats team, but let's check in on the status of Kevin Glenn with Lee Jones.
When Kevin Glenn came to the sidelines, they were taking a look at his throwing shoulder, and every time he had his throwing motion, he was grimacing a lot. Then on that last Hamilton series, Kevin Glenn actually took a football motion to equipment manager Gordon Gilroy. They went into the tunnel underneath the stands behind their bench, and he was throwing the football to see if he could go. Eventually, about 2 minutes later, he came back to the bench and told his entire offense, shook his head, no, he was not good to go. So this is Brett Smith's game to finish.
Tyler.
First completion to Getzlaf. Brett Smith in the preseason, 5 for 6, 99 and a touchdown. Whoa. Against Edmonton, a slip there for Messam on 2nd and 3, a costly slip.
Little things.
Little things.
A little thing.
Wow.
Trip here, stumble there. 2nd, and he has been pushing the pile the 3 yards that they needed to keep the chains rolling here, and a little stumble. They're going to have to kick it away.
So Ray Early with Banks awaiting. Messam's at 8 touches, 52 yards. His least productive day so far. They've got a good bounce for the Roughriders. Going to be a 5-yard no yards, and that'll take it to the 38. And Zach Collaros will lead the offense out with a chance to put this one out of reach.
Yeah, get a 2-score, 2-possession game if they can put more points on the board and want to.
No yards interference. Saskatchewan, number 26. It's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
Well, they're going to call it no yards interference on Anthony Allen. That's expensive. Corey Chamberlain wants to know why. He's suggesting he didn't give Banks an opportunity to field the ball.
Oh, we got to show it quickly. They're coming out over the ball. The Banks is right here. Comes down. I don't see this call at all. It looks like Allen is too close. He's no yards for sure, but he didn't interfere with Banks.
Play action fake to Gable. They come back the other way. And down the sidelines, Fantouz gets loose. and is down at the 40-yard line of the Roughriders. 21 for Andy Fantuz.
Starts on the left side of the formation, shoots across, and then tightrope walks the sideline. Macho Harris trying to catch up to him. He gets in a trail position, and the tackle missed by Jeff Tisdale.
All of a sudden up to 67 yards on the day. Mentioned he went over 7,000, Andy Fantuz. Now the number 14 man all-time among Canadian receivers in Canadian Football League history. Pitch to Gable. And Gable more room off the right side, and he'll crash down around the 31-yard line, close to 9, with Fantuz leading the blocking.
Ken Austin would love to just work C.J. Gable in this situation, get it down to the 3-minute warning inside that, and then just grind it down before putting some more points on the board. In field goal range now.
Short yardage situation, flags fly.
Procedure. Hamilton, number 64. 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So that's Ryan Baum, and the guy that you've shown
touch, yeah, just reaching
a
out.
Little tap to the center. There were 7 procedure calls against Hamilton last week.
Yeah, a few against Diakowski.
And some of them for just pointing out, while in the stance, pointing out the defensive alignment.
But you can't do it in the 3-point when you put your hand on the ground. You can when you are in the 2-point stance without your hand on the ground.
Changes the play call and would make a clinching field goal a tougher shot. Polaros dumps it off underneath. And away goes Gable again, and he is hit hard and has the first down. Macho Harris and Alex Hall converge as we go to the 3-minute warning, but C.J. Gable, who has been a force all evening, comes up with a critical first down on this play for the Tiger Cats. To the game by Corey Chamberlain. And right now the Ticats in command, leading by 7, threatening to add to the lead, and the Roughriders their 5th consecutive loss to start 2015.
Well, Chamberlain needs right now what he hasn't been able to get from his defense all year, and that's a takeaway.
1 interception, 1 turnover on downs in 5 games.
Yeah.
First and 10 for the Ticats, and once again Gable not going anywhere here. Finished off by Jeff Knox. T. George filled the hole. Gable, by the way, within 7 of his career best. He had 132 against Calgary 2 years ago.
Little adjustment here with the 2 interior defensive tackles, Brandon Tennant and Derek Walker. They just switch over quickly just before the snap and plug up the hole, confusing the blocking scheme for Hamilton up front. Nick Caleros in 2nd and long.
Ticats with 7 first downs in the 4th quarter. The Roughriders have 1. Hamilton looking for number 8 here, but it's 2nd and 12. And they played conservative. Gable trying to get to the outside, nothing doing. He'll lose yards, tripped up by Derek Walker, and support from Alex Suber.
Couple plays now back-to-back for Derek Walker, but, you know, I'm not surprised at all in the play call for Hamilton, because you're in field goal range with a chance to extend the lead here. No need to force it in that scenario. So they run the ball. Gable's broken a couple of tackles tonight. Doesn't get a chance to there. Good effort from Derek Walker.
Roughriders without a timeout. Clock is running. Medlock trying to make it a 2-score game from 39 yards away. And Medlock puts it through, a big one. 31-21, Hamilton with the lead. Well, they started 8-1, 8-2 the last couple of years. But this is in that other category, in danger of going 0-5 for the first time since '95. And some of our crack staff made note that none of those 0 for starts involved a safety by the name of Suter.
Thank goodness. Because that's not fun, I guarantee you. And it hasn't been for Corey Chamberlain and these Riders with this start.
101 seconds to go, and the number 3 quarterback on the depth chart when the season started in at quarterback throws, but that was beyond the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, I think it was.
And the catch by Dressler will be nullified.
Yeah, I think it was. He turned the corner, got upfield a little bit, and Smith was just across the line of scrimmage when he threw that one.
Now you're wondering too if Kevin Glenn's injury is of any duration. Brendan Tamman's got to go out and find another quarterback, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Illegal forward pass, Saskatchewan, number 16. 10-yard penalty. Illegal block on a forward pass, number 14, Saskatchewan. That penalties decline. 1st and 20.
Yeah, you know, I mean, he's so new and young to it all. Brett Smith, I mean, do you put trying to snap this losing streak on his shoulders if Kevin Glenn can't go? Brendan Tamman's got to go back to that whiteboard and see what free agents are available.
More heat. Smith steps up. He'll take off. And away he goes. Picks up an extra block and then gets brought down. Courtney Stephen puts an end to that run. Out beyond the 40, though. And sets up second and manageable.
Well, and Brett Smith's got to take some shots, too. I mean, it's 3-down football for them, and they've got to take some shots down the field, trying to make the big play or draw a penalty flag. A good run takes a lot of time off the clock.
Markham at the 39, so it's 2nd and 6. Dumps it off underneath, and that won't be a first down. Messam stopped in his tracks. So Moni Lawrence with the tackle, and it's going to be 3rd down.
You know, they have done that so well all game long. That Hamilton defense has tackled as well as I've seen all year. Not many yards after catch for these Rider receivers and running backs.
Well, 3rd and 1, and out of the shotgun, throwing the slant, knocked down, turnover on downs. And in the final minute, the Ticats celebration has begun. Adrian Tracy with the knockdown.
A little bit tough slugging for Kent Austin returning to Mosaic Stadium. Used to be called Taylor Field. Will get the win tonight.
Would be just their 2nd victory in 15 visits. Ticats will split a tough way to start the season with 4 consecutive road games. We're going to have a beauty on August the 3rd when they have their home opener against the Toronto Argonauts. And off. Gable chewing up some extra yards.
Well, this Hamilton team just gets better. They got better tonight when they got C.J. Gable back in the lineup. And
our Nissan Player of the Game is brought to you by Nissan, the official vehicle of the CFL. Not much question, 32 was the man today.
Just kept that defense off balance, had some big plays both along the ground. Had that nice play designed to beat the safety blitz from Tyron Brackenridge, and C.J. Gable's our player of the game, and get him back in the lineup. Makes that team that much stronger. Couple new receivers added to Hamilton's starting offense. Junior Collins, put Quincy McDuffie out there. Lots of weapons for Claris.
Again, a career high for C.J. Gable. 132 2 years ago against Calgary, but we talked about the Roughriders running game coming in, averaging 162.5, 100 yards more per game than the Ticats. But there are the numbers for Gable today, the running star, the offensive star, and victory formation here for the Ticats.
Once again, the little things add up. for the Saskatchewan Roughriders. They dropped to 0-5.
Game turned on a Rico Murray interception on the final play of the third quarter, and now it's 0-5 for Corey Chamberlain and the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Zach Collaros and the Ticats will lead Mosaic with a 31-21 victory. A first CFL touchdown for Junior Collins. Great effort by C.J. Gable. Pressure on Kevin Glenn. And a Ticat win. So long from Mosaic.